So yo guys, today we're going to go try Cape Malay South African food. If you guys didn't know, Cape Malay South African food is a mix between different cultures. It's a mix between Indian food, Malaysian food, Indonesian food, and South African food. And a lot of Malaysian influence in there as well, because when the Dutch was occupying Malaysia, they took a lot of people that weren't obeying to South Africa, and obviously they were running South Africa at the time as well. So today we're going to try Cape Malay South African food. We're definitely going to see the different flavors, different tastes, the culture mashup, mix up, and yo guys, let's go.
Hey, so I'm Hisham Omadine and this is Olivia. We own Hisham's Food. I'm originally from Worcester in South Africa, just outside of Cape Town. And all the recipes on the truck is my mum's, aunt's and sister's recipes that we make. And that's sort of, there's nothing like it here in America. And yeah, that's sort of how it came about. I love cooking, and if I wanted anything from home, I had to cook it myself because I couldn't find it anywhere. And actually, I say myself, but Olivia does a lot of the pastries on the truck. Yeah.
Well, I think, so like Hisham said, he was missing his food from home. And we've been married for 14 years now. We actually are both former dancers from Ballet Met here in Columbus. That's where we met. We were both dancing with the ballet company and danced there for a long time. And all through those years, Hisham introduced me to his kind of food. I fell in love with it. We would go home and have these amazing meals and experiences in South Africa when we would go visit. And to recreate it here in Columbus, we had to do it ourselves. So that is what made us learn like a lot of these recipes. I mean, Hisham kind of always did it. He was always a pretty fabulous cook. That's kind of why I snagged him. But so then when we were coming to the end of that ballet career and we were saying what's next, it just kind of seemed like another way to use our creativity, but also the things that Hisham had learned through all those years of bringing his family to life for us here in Columbus in our new home that we created together. We've been running in Columbus for about a year now. You can find us through Street Food Finder, lists all of our schedule. So if you go to streetfoodfinder.com/Hisham's Food, you'll be able to see our schedule for the next 3 weeks, see where we are. But you can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Hisham's Food. We also have a website, www.hishamsfood.com. We'd love to see you at the truck, introduce you to some of this kind of food, and bring some of Hisham's home to you.
That's right. Awesome. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. And we look forward to seeing you guys.
So yo guys, so welcome to, I just want to have a little interview with you for a second.
Awesome.
I feel like I'm a host now, you know. Again, they're like always making fun of me like, hey man, like I have it easy. I thought I did today, you know.
Awesome, sweet.
But I really appreciate it. Actually, the funny story is that I was driving near Children's Hospital.
Oh yeah?
I think it was, actually OSU East.
OSU East, that's right.
So I was on the east side of Columbus, guys, and I saw your food truck.
Yep.
And I just saw South African Cape Malay food, and I was like, what the heck is Cape Malay food? Sorry, no offense, but it was like, to me, it was like, I've actually never had South African food.
Okay.
And so I thought it was dope that there was like a fusion of cultures, because I knew when it said Cape Malay, of course I know Cape Town.
That's right.
And actually, the Cape Malay cuisine actually sort of came out of Bo-Kaap.
The Bo-Kaap,
which
absolutely. That's right. And it's all, the Indian slaves that came over many years ago, or not only them, but also from Java, that whole region, brought with them their cultures, their cuisines, their religions.
Of course.
And it's sort of, the Cape Malay is focused in that Cape Town area of the Muslim community.
So this is, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off. So this is sort of kind of like Muslim food in a way, right? Because if I'm correct, there were some people that the history was that the Muslim religion was brought to South Africa from people from like the southeastern part of Asia, correct?
Absolutely,
Gotcha.
absolutely. So they came over, and and became the sought after chefs in the kitchens for the Dutch masters.
Exactly.
And then after that, the English masters.
Gotcha.
So it's not quite your robust Indian curry like you would get
Right.
normally. Yeah, it's a bit more toned down. It's all about the play of the flavors
Right.
on your mouth. Yeah, and
I like that because
yeah.
it was so interesting when I was just like researching myself. Sorry, I mean to cut you
Yeah,
off.
no, you good.
But it was because when I looked at Indian food and I was like, oh, like I wonder if it's going to be exact. Because every time you
Yeah.
go to a different country, it sort of switches a little bit. It's almost like
Absolutely.
African American food or like
That's right.
Chinese American food. It's like
Yeah.
it's still play on African food or like
Yeah.
the culture that was brought over.
That's
but
right.
it switches a little bit with like whatever the native cultures are at that
And you
area.
know what's the great thing about the food truck is everyone that comes out that is from Africa, and it's like, oh, we've got something similar back
Similar like
home.
that.
There's the hand pie that we have,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
samosa in
Yeah.
particular,
Especially in East Africa, too. Yeah.
All over Africa,
Exactly.
everyone has a version of it.
Right.
And that's the thing that happens back home too, from home to home.
Of course.
It differs,
Of course.
but then it travels all through Africa. Everyone has something similar.
Agreed.
We were the melting pot of so many cultures that came halfway around the world,
Of course.
stopped over at the Cape of Good Hope,
Of course.
left and either left but left behind
Exactly,
part of
their
them,
culture.
or stayed
Exactly.
and brought with them. Yeah, so it's such a huge melting pot. So to say South African,
Yeah.
I mean, this is just one facet
Yeah.
of what is back home.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me because it's like a lot of people, I think, especially in America, unfortunately, like they think that America is like one of the only multicultural countries in the world. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you think about different countries, you only think about like one group of people.
Absolutely, yeah.
But like in South Africa is one of the most multicultural countries in the
Absolutely,
world as well.
absolutely.
And yo, guys, put some respect on South Africa's name in Cape
Yeah.
Cape Malay cuisine. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right, absolutely.
So definitely. So let me ask you another question. Like when you were growing up in South Africa with like your parents and you were having Cape Malay cuisine, were there like mixed reviews as far as the food? Because like in America, especially like, because I also have Eritrean family. Well, on my dad's side is Eritrean,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of times where people were like, "Hey, I'm not going to try Ethiopia or Eritrean food or African American food because it was looked down upon as far as like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not." Top
Yeah.
cuisine in
That's
this
right.
country.
That's
if we just
right.
say it the nice way.
You know what? And it is so funny because back home, I mean, the hand pies, the samosas, there is no party you're going to go to, or even boerewors
Right.
at a party in a braai, a barbecue.
Of course.
Back home, it's all about coming together
Of course.
around the table and everything. So that's exactly the food. It's home style cooking.
Of course,
You know,
exactly,
it will be your southern cooking.
Exactly.
Except it's not your
Southern
cooking. That's
right.
But that's what it is back home, and it's all about coming together.
Exactly.
That uninvited guest, if you anywhere back home over dinner time,
Of course.
don't even think about leaving. It'll be so disrespectful
Exactly.
to the mom of the house. Yeah, to leave.
Exactly.
You just prep and make sure that there's food for everyone.
No, and I agree, and I think that's like that too. I have a lot. I have some Eritrean aunts, and it's just like if you don't eat, it's like
Yeah.
it's so disrespectful.
Absolutely.
And you know, even African Americans, especially like in the South, it's like
Yeah.
every time you go somewhere. Like I have cousins, and one time I came from another barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm actually vegan now,
okay.
but back then.
That's right.
When I ate meat, like I came from another barbecue and I was like, I'm so full. And she felt like, wow, well, like I cooked all this food and I knew you guys were coming from the north. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this northerner wasn't ready for all this southern food.
That's
like I was
right.
just coming through, like, thought I would eat a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
like not a lot. But
That's right.
no, well, definitely. I really appreciate you sharing your story with me. And let me ask you another question, the last question. How long have you been in America from South Africa? I didn't know that.
This is my 18th year
Gotcha.
that I've been here.
Happy
and
18th birthday.
Thank
in
you.
the United States.
I'm a teenager.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm a little bit older than you right now. You know?
That's right.
Right.
You can tell by our beards.
You can tell the
who's
age, you know
eldest,
what I'm saying?
Oh man,
Cool.
that's cool. I can see he's got his Africa close to his heart. So if you want some right African food,
Exactly.
come check it out, man.
Please, and please come check out my brother whenever you get a chance. We're in Columbus, Ohio. They have different schedules, like he said before. And yo, guys, let's try the food now.
Awesome.
Okay guys, so we have our Cape Malay food right now, South African Cape Malay food. I talked to the owner and his wife. They was so cool, you know what I'm saying? Great people. You should definitely come and check their food truck out. But let's get into it right now. The first one that I'm trying is the Veggie Curry, right? Because Cape Malay food, like he said, is a mix of Indian food, other Southeast Asian foods like Malaysian, Indonesian, and obviously, you know, people from South Africa or South African people. So it's like a really, really big mashup, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try it out today. As you guys know, I'm vegan, so I only eat things that have no meat, no dairy. And we're just gonna check it out today. I gotta hold the mic, you know what I'm saying? I have nobody hold the mic for me. We're gonna taste it and see how it tastes. I'm pretty sure it's delicious, but it looks like it has like a variety of vegetables, obviously with like white basmati rice at the bottom. And I don't know exactly what this green topping is on top of it. It looks like some kind of like chive, probably like an onion, like a green onion. So let's check it out. Yo, hold up. Hold on a second. So, okay, we got a lot of interesting things going on right now. So here's one of the most interesting things. Like he said before, it's not as spicy as like traditional Indian food. Not to say that it's not spicy at all. It's a little spicy, but I think it's more. It would be easier for a lot of people to basically eat this food because I don't think it's as spicy as some Indian food. I know people don't like spice. I love spicy, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I can tell what he means by this is a little bit less spicy. And it's interesting because the spice doesn't come on until the end. And there's some kind of vegetable in there that sort of tastes like meat. I mean, I know I ain't ate meat in a long time. But it tastes like little bits of like beef in there, even though I know it's not. I'm trying to figure out what the heck it is, to be honest with you, but delicious. That's all I know. The one thing I love about this, the one thing I really think I love about this is that it's a little spicy, but it's something that you want to continue to eat. You know how there's like spicy where if you're not prepared, you don't get yourself prepared, like it's too spicy, you barely enjoy the food. I mean, you enjoy it after it's done, but it's dumb spicy. This is like a buildup of spice, but it's still like gradual. It never gets hotter than what it's supposed to be, right? And I think I'm starting to understand what he means by South African Cape Malay food, as far as it's not as spicy as maybe the traditional homeland food is from the Indian side of it. This is really on point. And I like it because it has like this creaminess to it. It's like a subtle creaminess to it, so it has like this very full body taste to it. It doesn't taste like you're getting rice and curry on top. It's almost like it goes together in a sense, if that makes sense. Like he was saying earlier, like soul food, it really combines with each other, and it doesn't make you feel like there's just curry on top of rice. It's almost like the rice and curry go together. Very well done. Very well done, my friend. I definitely can tell this is authentic. Like, there's no question in that. And also, another thing that I love, like I said, I think what I'm tasting, if I'm correct, is eggplant. Yeah. We got chickpeas, we have, I'm pretty sure it's eggplant. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's eggplant. And if it is, man, I've been sleeping on eggplant as a vegan. And it has this green curry. And to be honest with you, keep it a buck Billy. I'm really falling in love with this curry for real. Because like a lot of times when I eat curry, I always like, like red curries or orange curries. I mean, I'm just like, my eye goes to it first before I goes to green curries. But I could be wrong about this, but I feel like green curries are more like subtle in a sense. Maybe that's the same thing that goes on in nature, right? Like usually the things that are not poisonous are probably the things that are not as colorful. Usually the animals or the plants that are more poisonous are very, very vibrant and very colorful. I don't know. But it's been very interesting to try South African Cape Malay cuisine, because there's so many tastes that I'm familiar with, but also there's tastes that I'm not familiar with. And that's a very interesting thing. It's almost like speaking English to somebody in Great Britain or in the UK versus American English versus Australian English. Like, it's very similar. It comes from the same place, but it's switched a little bit. It's just changed a little bit, right? Almost like soul food in African American cuisine, right? Like a lot of the cuisine that was brought over from Africa, right? West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, North Africa. African Americans are not just from West Africa, even though, yeah, a big majority is. They're not just from West Africa, they're from all over Africa, right? And even talking about people from the Caribbeans and South America, Central America, right? There was black people that were brought from every part of Africa. So with that being said, there's a lot of things in African American cuisine specifically that obviously, you know, can be linked back to Africa, but there's some things that are newer that obviously when the slaves were here and people were here in America, like they had to adapt to the food that was around them, and this reminds me of that, you know? I couldn't really tell you a better way to spend a Tuesday than having South African Cape Malay cuisine in downtown Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to my city, 614 Buckeyes. What's good? You already know what it is, right? And relaxing on a nice fall day. You know, today is pretty nice. It's like 75 degrees. We're in downtown. I got to the food truck before the hustle and bustle. That's what I planned to do because it's about to be lunch hour. And yeah, guys, we're just enjoying South African Cape Malay cuisine. I mean, what can you say? If you're jealous right now, well, you might want to come down and see this food truck if you're within 400 miles. It's worth it. Drive down here, get it, right? Where else can you get South African Cape Malay cuisine? Within 100, 200 mile radius, I don't know. If you can, you tell me. But yo, guys, I'm enjoying myself a lot, as you can see. Let's go on to the next dish. So yo, guys, now we're gonna try the South African Cape Malay cuisine, and this is called a hand pie, right? We're gonna try the South African Cape Malay cuisine hand pie, and this is a vegetable one, right? Because I'm vegan. So let's go ahead and try it. It looks golden brown. It reminds me of like some Jamaican food, like sort of like a patty in a way, you know what I'm saying? Or different African foods. But yeah, it's very unique looking. Sort of reminds me of like a patty and an apple pie mixed together. So let's try it and see how it tastes. Now this is interesting because it almost reminds me of like a pot pie. So when you bite into it, it's definitely a pastry. When you bite into it, it's very, very fluffy. And you really don't hit the veggies until like, I would say like maybe like 30% down, right? So you take a bite. It's not like the beginning is going to be more pastry than it's actually going to be veggies, right? But, This is on point. I think this has corn and it has maybe, I don't know, maybe chickpeas, maybe grounded chickpeas. I have to double check, and maybe some kind of like green beans looks like. But I like this because this is sort of like on the go. I can see myself eating like, man, maybe like 6 of these. Let's say 5. Make it even. No, 6 is even. 5's in the middle though. I like how it's like, it's not too thick. It's very airy. And this could definitely fill you up. Like, if you're on the go, this is one of the on the go type snacks, like a patty. You can walk down the street. You can have one of these hand pies and you're good to go. Maybe 2 or 3. Throw them in the book bag, right? And I like how there's like a little bit of spice too inside of it. I've noticed this about this cuisine is that it has a little spice, but it's not like overbearingly spicy. Because I know a lot of people, they don't like that. But I love spice, so to me it's like, the more the better, you know? Yo, I'm living a life on a Tuesday. It's going up on a Tuesday, right? Yo guys, this is definitely recommended. I mean, both dishes, this and the other dish has been deliciously good, but this is, man, definitely recommended. And I love this because it's almost like, let's say you're on the run and you got the main dish, right, like some rice and curry, but then you're hungry, but you can't, like, you know, you have things in your hand, or you can't stop to eat whatever with a fork or a spoon with your curry and your rice. You can take this out your bag, eat this while you're walking, and then once you get to where you're gonna get, you can finish the meal up. Love this, love hand foods. Flaky. I'm all about the flake, guys. All about the flake. That one is definitely recommended. Yo guys, sorry, I don't mean to talk my mouth full, but let's go on to the next dish. Okay guys, so the last thing we're gonna try is desserts. You know I love desserts. And this is called the Cook Sister, right? So this is like a South African donut, right? Because we're mixing all these cultures together. So you guys know I love sweets, right? So we're gonna definitely try this one out. Now, our first pickup, it's a little sticky, right? And it has a whole bunch of coconut on top of it, which this is gonna be very interesting because I'm a tropical person, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're gonna see how this plays out with the stickiness and coconut. I wonder if it's honey on the outside of it. I don't know. But yo guys, Cook Sister, first time, Cape Malay, South African food. I should be like Mark. Let me take another bite. If you guys like Mark Wienens, I'm gonna be like Mark Wienens right now. Mark Wienens. The taste is just so delicious. The coconut, that's how Mark Wienens does it, right? So I had to do it one time because I love watching Mark Wienens. Shout out to Mark Wienens. Yo, but this reminds me, hold on. This reminds me of like a Cinnabon, right? Like a Cinnabon. If you live in the United States, like if you go to the mall and you go to Cinnabon, it reminds you of that, but like a little bit more natural tasting, not as thick, a little bit lighter, but definitely like a gummy texture, like a thicker texture. And I love it because you can taste the cinnamon and the fluffiness, and it's a little sticky on the outside, which adds to the enjoyment and the experience of eating this, right? Like to really show that it's a real dessert, you know, like some desserts are messy. I think most desserts are probably messy for the most part. You're enjoying yourself, you know what I'm saying? You're indulging, you know, and a dessert should be that way. And the one thing that I really love the most, outside of the outside and the texture and the inside, is the coconut on top. Like, yo, it's an interesting thing because the little bits of coconut, when you bite into it and you chew, at first you taste like a little hint of coconut, but as you keep chewing and you bite into the coconut, you just taste more and more of these little explosions of coconut here, coconut there, coconut here, coconut there. I love it. I love it. Very light too. It doesn't feel like it's like heavy fried, like fried very heavily. Even if it is. Man. This is on point for real. I would definitely recommend this, guys. If you guys ever go try South African Cape Malay cuisine, if you're in South Africa, I know I got people in South Africa, shout out to people in South Africa, or you're anywhere else where you can get your hands on this, this will definitely finish up the meal. And I love it because a lot of the other things that I ate weren't overly spicy, but they were a little spicy. So I think with this can definitely like cleanse your palate and and bring you back down from that semi spicy high, you know. Huh. I gotta watch myself because I could get addicted to those things. But yo, guys, that was trying South African Cape Malay cuisine. I really love the owners. They're really nice, and I appreciate the owner and his story coming from South Africa, being in the United States for 18 years, growing up with this mix of cultures, which is in South Africa, with Indian, Malaysian, Indonesian, South African mixed all together. And I think it's a dope thing, and I really appreciate him having me and letting me talk to him and his wife. And if you guys are ever in Columbus, Ohio, please visit them. I'm gonna have the description in the bottom in case you're downtown. They are food trucks, so they move around. So they're throughout the whole city. And yeah, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, what can you? I mean, I don't even want to leave right now. I'm having such a good time just eating this delicious cuisine. Always add me on all social medias, which is Afric Network, which is Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, all Afric Network, right? Please like and subscribe and turn on the bell notification at the bottom next to the subscription button so you will never miss any of my videos. Like I always tell you guys, each one teach one, always stick together, always learn about each other's culture. And yo guys, I mean, what can I say? One love. Peace.
What's up, what's up?
Hey.
Shalom.
What up?
Hi.